Good day everyone, my name is Linel Kabulang and today I want to make a short presentation about planning functions, setting goals and making plans. All organization, whether it is a government, a private business or small businessman, require planning to turn their dreams of increasing sale, earning high profit and getting success in business. Planning function of management means looking ahead and checking out the future courses of action to be followed. This is a preparatory step. It is a detailed program regarding future courses of action. It is rightly said, well planned is half done. Therefore, planning takes into consideration available and prospective human and physical resources of the organization so as to get effective coordination, contribution, and perfect judgment. It is a basic management function which includes formulation of one or more detailed plans to achieve optimum balance of needs or demands with the resources. One of the most important ingredients of planning is time. Plans are always developed for a fixed time period as no business can go on planning endlessly. Keeping in mind the time dimension, we can define planning as setting objectives for a given time period, formulating various courses of action to achieve them and then selecting the best possible alternative from the different courses of action. According to Urwick, planning is a mental predisposition to do things in orderly way, to think before acting, and to act in the light of facts rather than alternative among others to perform different managerial functions in order to achieve a predetermined goals. All businessmen have to think about future, make predictions and achieve targets to decide what to do, how to do, and when they do the planning. Ibig sabihin, planning can be defined as thinking in advance what is to be done, when it is to be done, and whom it should be done. Sa madaling salita, planning bridges the gap between we are standing today and where we want to reach. Management involves more than just telling others what to do before any of you decide that you think you can do your boss's job. Let's take a look more into what the manager does. The major functions that a manager completes can be categorized into 4 different functions known as planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. For some of us, we only see the final 2 which is leading and controlling, but you should know that every managerial behavior you do see, there is an equal amount you do not. Behind a manager's closed door, they spend a good deal of their time planning and organizing so they can effectively carry out the functions of leading and controlling. Now, before you think your boss is different, you should know that the 4 functions of management are standard across industries, whether that you would be in the manufacturing plant, a home office, a grocery store, a retail store, a restaurant, a hotel, or even an amusement park. Effective managers understand how planning, organizing, leading, and controlling are used to achieve organizational success. Unfortunately, I do not have a rebuttal for those of you who have ineffective managers, but perhaps learning a little about the 4 functions of management will help to identify what steps your ineffective manager needs to take to become an effective one. Try to think of the 4 functions as a process where each step builds on each other. Managers must first plan, then organize according to that plan, lead others to work towards the plan, and finally, evaluate the effectiveness of the plan. These functions must be performed properly and when done well, become the reason for organizational success. The first of managerial functions is planning. There is a saying that those who fail to plan, plan to fail. Well, I can speak all the facts in life. This is certainly true in business. Managers find themselves planning for all sorts of things. In this step, the manager creates a detailed action aimed at some organizational goal. One main role of a manager is creating a plan to meet company goals and objectives. This involves allocating employee resources and delegating responsibilities, as well as setting realistic timelines and standards for completion. Planning requires those in management roles to continuously check on team progress in order to make small adjustments when necessary, while still maintaining a clear picture of a company's larger aims and goals. Much of one's planning function consists of working independently to determine what responsibilities must be given to which employees, setting priority levels for certain tasks, and creating timelines. However, communication also plays an important role. For example, let's say Kathy Almano has a goal in increasing sales during the month of October. Kathy needs to first spend time mapping out the necessary steps she and her team of sales representatives must take so that they can increase sales numbers. These steps might include things like increasing advertisement in a particular region, placing item on sale, increasing the amount of required customer to sale rep contact, or contacting prior customers to see if they are interested in purchasing additional products. These steps are then organized into a logical pattern so that Kathy and her team can follow it. Planning is an ongoing step and can be highly specialized based on organizational goals, division goals, departmental goals, and team goals. It is up to the managers to recognize what goals need to be planned within their individual area. There are three types of planning. These are operational, tactical, and strategic plans. If you think about these three types of plans as a stepping stone, you can see how their relationship to one another aids the achievement of organizational goals. Operational plans are necessary to attain tactical plans, and tactical plans lead to the achievement of strategic plans. Then, in true planning fashion, there are also plans to back up plans that fail. This is known as contingency plans. So, to better understand how each type of plan is used by managers, let's have an example of Modis Pisa and how Ramil, Ruel, and Delia carry out their planning responsibilities. To best understand the relationship between the different types of plans, let's start with the strategic plan. These plans are designed with entire organization in mind and begin with an organization's mission. Top-level managers such as CEOs or presidents will design and execute a strategic plan to paint a picture of the desired future and long-term goals of the organization. Essentially, strategic plan look ahead to where the organization wants to be in 3 or 5 or even 10 years. Strategic plans provided by top-level managers serve as a framework for lower-level planning. Ramil as a top-level manager for Modis Pizzeria. As a top-level manager, Ramil must use a strategic planning to ensure the long-term goals of the organization are reached for Ruel. That means developing long-term strategies for growth, improving productivity and profitability, boosting return on investments, improving customer service, and finding ways to give back to the community in which it operates. For example, Ramil's strategic plans for growth, improving productivity and profitability, and boosting return on investments are all part of the desired future of the pizzeria. Strategic plans also tend to require multi-level involvement so that each level of the organization plays a significant role in the achievement of the goals being strategically planned for. Top-level managers such as Ramil develop the organizational objectives so that the middle and lower-level managers can create compatible plans aligned with those objectives. Now that you have a general idea for how organizational plans evolves, let's proceed to the next type of planning known as tactical planning. These plans support strategic plans by translating them into specific plans relevant to a distinct area of the organization. Tactical plans are concerned with the responsibility and functionality of lower-level departments to fulfill each part of the strategic plan. For example, when Delia, the middle-level manager at Modis, learns how about Ramil's strategic plan for increasing productivity, Delia immediately begins to think about possible tactical plans to ensure what happens. Tactical planning for Delia might include things like testing a new process in making pizzas that have been improving to shorten the amount of time it takes for preparing the pizzas to be cooked. Or perhaps purchasing a better oven that can speed up the amount of time it takes to cook a pizza, or even considering ways to better map out delivery routes and drivers. As a tactical planner, Delia needs to create a set of calculated actions that take a shorter amount of time and are narrower in scope than the strategic plan is, but still help to bring the organization closer to the long-term goal. Next is operational plan. It's a long-term operational plan at the bottom of the totem pole. They are the plans that are made by frontline or low-level managers. All operational plans are focused on specific procedures and processes that occur within the lowest levels of the organization. Managers must plan the routine tasks of the department using a high level of detail. Ruel, the frontline manager at Modis Pizzeria, is responsible for operational planning. Operational planning activities for Ruel would include things like scheduling employees each week, assessing, ordering and stocking inventory, creating a monthly budget, developing a promotional advertisement for the quarter to increase the sales of a certain product such as the Hawaiian pizza, or outlining an employee performance goals for the year. Operational plans can be either single-use plans or ongoing plans. Single-use plans are those plans that are intended to be used only once. They include activities that would not be repeated and often have an expiration. Creating a monthly budget and developing a promotional advertisement for the quarter to increase the sales of a certain products are examples of how Ruel would utilize single-use planning. Ongoing plans are those plans that are built to withstand the test of time. They are created with the intent to be used several times and undergo changes when necessary. Outlining an employee performance goals for the year would be considered an ongoing plan that Ruel must develop, assess, and update if necessary. Ongoing plans are typically a policy procedure or rule. Policies are general statements or guidelines that any manager in understanding routine responsibilities of their role as a manager. Examples of policy includes things such as hiring, training, outlining, and assessing performance appraisals, disciplining, and terminating subordinates. A procedure process details out a step-by-step process of carrying out a certain task, such as assessing, ordering, and stocking inventory. A rule provides managers and employees with specific and explicit guidelines of behavior. That is why they should be doing and what they should not do as a member of an organization. Even the base plans can fail, especially in today's fast-paced, chaotic business environment. And as such, it is important for managers at all levels to engage in contingency planning. Contingency planning allows a manager to be flexible and change-savvy of providing an alternative course of action which can be implemented if and when an original plan fails to produce the anticipated results. Having a contingency plan might seem like extra work, but much like a reserve parachute when skydiving, better to have and not need it than to need it and not have it. Now let's proceed to the second of the managerial function, which is organizing. Managers organize by bringing together physical resources to achieve objectives. They identify activities to be accomplished, classify activities, assign activities to group or individuals, create responsibility, and delegate authority. They then coordinate the relationships of responsibility and authority. Along with planning, a manager's organizational skills can help to ensure a company of departmental unit runs smoothly. From establishing internal processes and structures to knowing which employees or teams are best suited for specific tasks, keeping everyone and everything organized throughout daily operations are important functions of management. Organization isn't just about delegating tasks efficiently and making sure employees have what they need to accomplish their tasks, however. Managers also need to be able to reorganize in response to new challenges. This would come into practice in the form of slightly adjusting the timeline for a project or reallocating tasks from one team to another. Or it could mean significantly altering a team's internal structure and roles in response to company growth. This step requires Kathy to determine how she will distribute resources and organize her employees according to the plan. Kathy will need to identify different roles and ensures that she assigns the right number of employees to carry out her plan. She will also need to delegate authority, assign work, and provide directions so that her team of sales representatives can work towards higher sales number without having barriers in their way. The third function of management is leading. Managers should be comfortable and confident commanding their team members' daily tasks as well as during periods of significant change or challenge. This involves projecting a strong sense of direction and leadership when setting goals and communicating new processes, products, and services or internal policy. Leadership can manifest itself in a number of ways, including recognizing when employees need an extra boost of reinforcement and praise to handling conflicts between team members fairly and decisively. Often, managers may function as leaders even during small personal interactions by modeling supportive, encouraging, and motivational qualities. In this step, Kathy spends time connecting with her employees or on an interpersonal level. This goes beyond simply managing tasks. Rather, it involves communicating, motivating, inspiring, and encouraging employees towards a higher level of productivity. Not all managers are leaders. An employee will follow the direction of the manager for how to perform a job because they have to. But an employee will voluntarily follow directions of a leader because they believe in who they are as a person, what they stand for, and for the manner in which they are inspired by the leader. Controlling is the final function of management. To ensure all the above functions are working toward the success of a company, managers should consistently monitor employee performance, quality of work, and efficiency and reliability of completed projects. Control in management is about making sure the ultimate goals of the business are being adequately met, as well as making any necessary changes when they aren't. Once the plan has been carried out, evaluate the results against the goals. If a goal is not being met, the manager must also take any necessary corrective actions to continue to work towards that goal. For example, if Kathy noticed that her team was behind their sales halfway through October, she will need to put in place the necessary provisions to ensure that the second half of October is twice as productive as the first half, so that by the end of the month, the original sales goal will be met or exceeded, because the control process also includes setting performance standards for employees and continuously evaluating a job performance. Kathy will speak with each of her sales reps individually to review their performance. Some have added a fifth function for managers known as staffing. This step is the task of evaluating, recruiting, selecting, training, and placing appropriate individuals into defined job roles. A manager must spend time evaluating their workforce need, discovering where employees need to be added, trained, or removed, and then make those changes so that the organization can continue business as usual. Now, let's proceed to goal setting and making plans. A goal is desired future state that the organization wants to realize. Goals are important because organization exists for a purpose, and goals define and state that purpose. A plan is a blueprint specifying the resource allocations, schedules, and other actions necessary for attaining goals. The concept of planning usually incorporates both goals and plans. Planning means determining the organization's goals and defining the means for achieving them. An action plan is a document that lays out the tasks you need to complete in order to accomplish your goal. It breaks up the process into actionable assignments based on a timeline. A good action plan will outline all the necessary steps to achieve your goal and help you reach your target efficiently by assigning a time frame to every step in the process. It is useful to a wide range of individuals and organizations, from employees who want to improve their work performance to project managers assigning tasks to team members. It can help you identify a clear path to move toward your goal and confidently organize associated tasks in the appropriate order to achieve your goal in the most efficient way. It can also make it easier for you to stay motivated and monitor progress towards goals, allowing you to keep your projects on schedule and, if applicable, within the budget. And if collaborating with others, you can use it as a tool to reference who should be held accountable for each task, which can help you avoid delays and troubleshoot errors. There are 5 goal setting steps this year to 2021. According to Brian Tracy, goals allows you to control the direction of change in your favor. 2020 has a year of unknowns, extreme challenges, and taking inventory of what's important to you. Your life may have been put on hold in a lot of ways and you've watched your goal change. But you still have your eyes on the prize. Now, another is on the horizon, and as you start to think about your New Year's resolutions for 2021, your goals will become clearer. Use this goal setting tip to help you reach new height in the coming year. First tip is to evaluate your progress. Before you look forward, you need to look back. Ask yourself what have you accomplished this year? What goals did you actually achieve that seemed so far out of reach just a year ago? What was the biggest and smallest milestones that you celebrated this year? Each and every step you took brought you that much closer to your biggest goals. While productivity is qualitative, progress can be quantitative. Having measurable ways to track how much progress you have made allows you to see just how much every task adds up in the long run. Acknowledging your progress gives you a chance to reflect on areas where you improve. This practice boosts your confidence, offers clarity, and uses positive reinforcement, which ultimately leads to more productivity. In order to perform better and reach your goals, you have to evaluate the ones you have already accomplished. Second tip is to recognize your setbacks. With any long-term visions, you are bound to have setbacks. And this year may have been full of them. The setbacks you might felt in 2020 might have felt out of control, but it's still important to recognize them and how they affect your long-term success. Ask yourself these questions. What are my biggest challenges this year? What goal setting did I use to face these challenges? How can having SMART goals for 2021 help me to choose these setbacks? Sometimes what seems like a setback might be a chance to get creative and explore different roads to your goals. When it comes to setting goals, creativity is key to adaptation. Once you've analyzed what set you back last year, adapt to your current reality. If we have learned anything in 2020, it's how to adapt to the present. The ability to adapt is necessary in every field, making it an incredibly valuable trait. While determining your goals for 2021, you have to look at your current reality. Your goals must fit with your long-term aspirations while being realistic about how they fit into your present life. Goal-setting tips will tell you to challenge yourself, but make sure your goals are actually attainable within a reasonable time frame. Adaptation also involves knowing how to maximize your productivity in any given situation. Reaching your goals in 2021 may come down to implementing key productivity like completing a task once you start it, and writing down a to-do list daily. How will your goals for the next year will reflect where you are now? Next tip is to make sure that your goals are SMART. It's important to have a system in place that shows you how strategically set goals. Having SMART goals will help you zero in on what's important to you and increase your chances of success. SMART goals can be used to improve both your personal and professional life. So, what makes SMART goals? First, they are specific, not ambiguous. The more concise, the better. Second, they are measurable or able to be evaluated. Third, they are challenging but achievable. Fourth, they are relevant and aligned with your long-term plans. Fifth, they are time-bound to a certain deadline. Learning about the SMART goals and the principles of goal-setting theory will help you get clear and sure about what you want to achieve in 2021. The last tip is to make sure you write down your goals. You probably have some ideas floating around in your head by now, but writing them down is the first step in putting them in action. Write down a specific goal and check that it matches each criterion within the SMART acronym. Having a clear organization system like SMART Goals template will help you analyze your goals, track your progress, and help you stay motivated. The functions of management mentioned can extend logically from experience and skills developed in entry-level positions. Formal training and education may provide advantages. For those currently working, seeking out a mentor at work, and keeping an eye out of professional development opportunities can allow you to build skills needed for management roles. Therefore, I conclude that planning is the most crucial function of management. Without setting the goals and courses of action to be followed, there is nothing to organize, to direct, and to control in organization. Planning helps to minimize costs and to maximize profits. It increases efficiency of an organization. In modern world of dynamic changes, the importance of planning cannot be denied. And that's the end of my presentation. Thank you and good day, everyone.